Andre Bertelsmeier of Germany. China well supported, of course, those familiar yellow jackets in the stands, but here come the Germans, the more experienced of the pair. First meeting between these two sets of players in this final. We normally see Benedikt Duda playing alongside Dan Chi or Patrick Francisca, so this is a relatively new partnership with Andre Bertelsmeier, but clearly one that is working well, given that they have found themselves in this final. Be interesting to see how these Chinese youngsters get on, the only Chinese representatives in finals day, which is certainly a real rarity. Best of 5, of course, for the doubles. And then we turn our attention to the singles finals, women's. The final of the day, and the men's next up. That will be Felix Lebrun and Anders Lind after this one. So much to look forward to. Still today we've had such high quality action here on table 1, and this one promises much more of the same. It'll be interesting, Fraser Riley, to see how this one unfolds, given that we've got the experience of the German pair, Benedikt Duda especially, but with a relatively new partner in Andre Bertelsmeier. But then there's always high hopes for the Chinese, but this pair, you sense, might just be lacking the experience of their German opponents today.
Yeah, great to be with you, Rebecca. I agree. I mean, we're looking at two new stars of Team China here who haven't had that experience outside of, you know, the WTT youth circuit. It's their first Contender event, first time playing together at a senior event. They've done really, really well to make it through to the finals. The coaches will be delighted. They, you know, had some tough matches, beating Bataji and Surabajula of India, Serene and Pishche, Elbayi and Abdelaziz, the surprise semi-finalists. This will be, I think, a match that the Germans will feel that they're the favourites in. They didn't drop a game in their first round match. Then they beat a young Chinese pair in Wang Xishuan and Jai Jiale before being taken to the 5th game by the Indians, the 2nd seed, who they beat 12-10 in the decider. Bertelsmeier is the best young player in Germany. He was the youngest resident at the Dusseldorf Centre at 14 years of age. He's captured the imagination with some incredible trick shots against the likes of Felix Lebrun and Nima Alamian, and he's pairing well with Duda, who of course is in fine form himself, reaching the final of the European Champs last year.
Yeah, needs no introduction, does he? Benedikt Duda, he's a familiar face on the circuit, hugely experienced player, and both these Germans, just such a commanding presence, both very tall players. We've got the right-hand, left-hand combination for both sets of players here.
It's hard to believe that Bertelsmeier is only 3 years older than the two Chinese players on screen, who are both 16 years of age. Nice to see a young penholder in Wu Yifei. This is his first senior event. Incredible. And what I will say, though, is LIHECHEN, the lefty, is incredible player. I mean, he lost to Sora Matsushima in the singles 3-0, but he is so quick.
Yeah, and always great to see these young players emerging. It's always a great experience for them, no matter the result. It's fantastic to get through to the final. And of course they're well supported, as you'd expect them to be. LIHECHEN and WUYIFEI.
Smooth attack there. Both these partnerships having the advantageous lefty-righty mix. What a flick from LIHECHEN.
Yeah, and what a week they've had come through qualifying to make it all the way through to the final. It's really quite impressive. All of their results coming through to this final have been 3-1 scorelines. So it's no accident they found themselves here. Just shows as well, qualifiers can be really dangerous, can't they? Because you get into the habit of winning.
Yeah, it's a new format we have at the contender level. In singles, the qualifiers can play a group of 3. Doubles is straight knockout, so very difficult, especially in doubles, to get that momentum that you talked about, knowing that every match from the first is a must-win.
Well, you said LIHECHEN is quick, Fraser, and that's just a great example of it there.
Stunning fading forehand, inside out. That's scary good. You wonder how seasoned pros like Benedikt DUDA feel when they see the new generation coming up and through in the training hall. What's coming off the conveyor belt of class that is Team China.
Yeah, Benedikt DUDA turning 31 just a couple of weeks ago. Pretty much twice the age of the 2 kids on the opposite side of the table.
DUDA's proven to be a worthy opponent against Team China stars. He beat Lin Gaoyuan and Liang Jinqun at the Champions event in Montpellier. Nearly beat Wang Chuqin as well at the World Cup, don't forget. Only last week in Macau, so in really, really strong form, DUDA.
Got some discussion in the comment section about the pen holder grip that you mentioned, Fraser. We've got someone who doesn't like the pen holder method, and then we've got Emmanuel Dumont who says he favours pen holders, so it's a divisive grip anyway.
Oh, I love the pen holder grip. There's a wisdom to pen holders which is, you know, shining through no matter the generation of players. Modernised by the Chinese, it's, you know, helped save the grip from extinction, adding that possibility of the reverse penalty backhand. A lot of flexibility with that grip.
Do you think we'll see it become more popular with the likes of Felix Lebrun adopting it, and maybe more of the European players starting to play that way? The youngsters coming through, I mean, the kids who are just starting to play table tennis?
I think so, yeah. You know, a lot of people think that defence is a dying art because it's less effective. That's not true. It's as effective as it used to be, but, you know, just not trending.
This is such impressive stuff, isn't it, from the Chinese teenagers? 5 game points, they come out firing in this final. Just missing the mark there was LIHECHEN. 4 game points remaining, but this is such impressive stuff, isn't it, from these two who've come all the way through qualifying to this point.
It's a dream start. Can they finish it off? Oh, uncontainable. He's got a thirst for blood, hasn't he, the lefty?
Yeah, he's been really particularly impressive, and under 5 minutes on the clock, then 4 minutes and 50 seconds was all it took for the Chinese teenagers to wrap that one up, 11 points to 6, and certainly they'll have given the Germans something to think about here. Well, that wasn't the result we expected, was it, Fraser, from the opening game? The Germans outclassed there. 11 points to 6. Li and Wu really confident And it's amazing to see the attitude of these two 16-year-olds. You know, no feeling of nerves, not being overawed by appearing in this final. It's really amazing to see, and let's see if they can continue that.
They played so fearlessly, which is really refreshing to see. Really, really clever serve there. Stunning flick. This kid here, LIHECHEN, he is going to be, I think, a megastar in table tennis. His demeanour, his playing style, it's incredible. You know, a lot of these players inspired by Wang Chuqin, Huang Youceng. He's really developing well. LIHECHEN, the next one in line. You wonder who's going to be there with the likes of Lin Chudong and Wang Chuqin when Lin Gaiwen, Liang Jinquin retire. Will any of these kids overtake the world number 1 and 2 in the next few years?
Well, we'll certainly remember the name.
Pirouetting winner there. Look at this. Knows exactly how to meet the ball. LIHECHEN strikes when the iron's hot. Devastating, isn't it? That forehand.
He just made DUDA look so pedestrian, so slow, and we know that he's not, but that was just testament to the speed that he produced there. It was really quite impressive.
A little bit of fortune there. They're not flicking out the Chinese. They actually want the Germans to spin first so that they can then counter. Bertelsmeier just miscontacting his pendulum service, trying to serve it with a little bit more bounce to confuse Li. LIHECHEN currently ranked 160 in the world. As we said, WUYIFEI unranked in seniors. Bertelsmeier is breaking into the top 100 for the first time in his career.
Again, that's what makes it so difficult to play against these players, because you really just don't know anything about them, do you? It's a complete unknown. You can't prepare.
You know what you're getting with the Team China stars. Yes, they have slightly different technique from each other, but the fundamentals, the philosophy is the same in terms of what they will do against certain shots, the feeling of playing them because of the equipment they use, slightly tackier rubbers. I'm not sure what's going on here.
Yeah, not sure what's causing this delay.
Looks like they're getting the manual scoreboard out. Maybe something wrong with the electric one. Thought technology was supposed to make the world easier, Rebecca.
Back to basics. So keep an eye then on the bottom right hand corner, the manual scoreboard there, just being flicked over.
untidy serve. Really important from the German perspective, they win this game. So much pressure on you to win the second if you lose the first. Fast and furious 5-game format.
They didn't just lose the first, it was, you know, quite some gulf. They were 5 points off the pace in the opener. They really weren't allowed to get any kind of foothold in it.
Oh wow, Bertelsmeier there somehow managing to finesse this forehand. Wow, it was so low, it was against such a heavy spin shot as well. Gobsmacking finish from the 19-year-old star.
That's 2 off the net, brings up 3-game points now for Duda and Bertelsmeier. Can they level it here? Well, first game point save. Can they do that 3 more times? Again, it's just the maturity they're showing is really impressive.
Been hitting winners for fun, LIHECHEN. Not as many this game, credit to the Germans for that, but they're showcasing his class once more. Stayed so calm.
Oh, second consecutive game point saved. This must be so frustrating for the German pair, just can't get this one over the line just yet. Oh, what a winner from Bertelsmeier at the 3rd time of asking. Yeah, steps in nicely with the forehand. 7 minutes on the clock then for the second game. The Germans get that game on the board, and that was an important one for them to get over the line. They level up in this final. Well, the Germans have managed to level at a game apiece, just sneaking that one over the line. 2-game points saved. Liu couldn't save a third. All of Li and Wu's previous matches this week have been won by a 3-1 scoreline. I don't think they'll be too bothered, will they, Fraser, by dropping that game there? They know they can come from behind to win. They've done so all week.
No, for sure, Rebecca, it's a great start from them here. I feel like so many young European players are advised to focus on the spin game, try and, you know, start the rally with slow spin. But the thing is, the Chinese aren't bothered by spin, really. If the ball's long enough to attack, they'll attack it regardless. More possible because of the change to the plastic ball and the innovations in rubber technology. That's why you're seeing even European players now switch to a slightly tackier option, just to help counteract the spin on a ball coming in. Usually hybrid rubbers like Dignix or K3 or, you know, the other versions of the rubber, all fairly similar.
stuff, Liam. He was so confident. And just so calm as well in that rally.
Yeah, not easy to get over those sky lobs. Oh, that's stunning. The reverse penal backhand there of Wu, and then LIHECHEN with the finishing blow. So compact with the backhand, such a short, snappy stroke. The acceleration creates such quality.
Oh, 6 points to 1 now. 2 16-year-olds streaking away with this one.
Oh yeah, perfect placement there from BENEDIKT DUDA. Just really tied up LIHECHEN. Covers the net cord.
Yeah, recovered really well, but was then not necessarily well balanced to try and play the next, and almost looked as though he got in his teammate's way a little bit.
Served just a bit too loose. Probably went for something that was half long, drifted more towards the long side, and Duda says thank you.
Yeah, and we've got the timeout now. I mean, 6 points to 1 up. The Germans have pegged them back to 6 points to 4, and I think that's a wise call from Team China to say, let's just put a pause to this momentum that these Germans are trying to build here. Oh, the Chinese timeout doesn't look as though it's had the desired effect, giving away that first point after the restart. Duda and BERTELSMEIER getting themselves back to within a point of it. They've come from 1-6 down. It looked as though Li and Wu were pulling away and putting this game out of sight.
Oh, that's a tough pill to swallow there. Miscues the service, keeps the Chinese in front. Germans are so mechanical, they know how to graft, they know how to vary the spin game. Good, they level here. Again, serve, they do, they win both points there, off receive. Wow, incredible.
Well, they've come from 1-6 down, the Germans, to draw level at 7-all, but crucially, they cannot get ahead. The Chinese pair just restoring that advantage.
Wow, Duda, the world number 15 with the Chiquita flick. LIHECHEN just completely unbothered. drive straight through all that side spin. Impeccable play from the left-hander. Oh, wow. Snake shot. All sorts going on there. Didn't quite have the venom to trouble Bertelsmeier.
Duda with some real power behind that one, draws level at 9-all, but they haven't managed to get themselves ahead in this game. Duda and Bertelsmeier, they've come from 1-6 down, they've got themselves level, but they've never taken the lead. Important points now, nervy moments for both pairs of players. Into the net, the Germans get a game point, just a single game point though. Can they get this one over the line?
The dynamism in this point here. A wide backhand was exposed. If Lee would have made it on the table, it would have been lights out. 11
points to 9. Fascinating stuff indeed. The momentum swings slightly in favour now of the German pair, winning the last 2 games, but wow, they had to come from a long way back to get that one done. 1 point to 6 down, and just edged it. And you suspect, Fraser, that was testament to the experience of Duda, the cool, calm head, not phased by being behind 5 points, and they forced the Chinese into a timeout. The timeout didn't work the way that they anticipated, and Germany get ahead in this final.
Yeah, they just, revert to the basics, didn't overcomplicate matters when they were 1-6 down, didn't rush, didn't panic, didn't try and win the rally too early, just carried on plodding along. There were moments there where Lee and Wu just got a little bit big for their boots, got a little bit wild. Got to try and tame that ambition from time to time. It's going to be tough for the young Chinese to forget about the lead that they had.
It's like you were saying earlier, Fraser, just keep it simple, just think about the next point. And now this is a must-win, of course, for Lee and Wu, who were really a class apart in the opener, playing 11 points to 6, playing with such freedom, almost as if they surprised the Germans. Of course, the first meeting between this pair, the German pair, don't actually know much about these 2 Chinese teenagers, so perhaps that was a large part to do with it, but Duda and Bertelsmeier now a game away from taking the title.
Mentioning, weren't we, about how, Lee and Wu haven't played together on the senior stage before. To my knowledge, Duda and Bertelsmeier haven't either. I think this is their first event as a pair.
Yeah, of course, we normally see Duda alongside Dan Chi, Patrick Francisca. Great to see a new face coming up through the ranks for Germany. And gelling well with Duda, the experienced older player.
In terms of the average age of the top 3, Germany, one of the oldest. I mean, you think of Ovtcharov, the recently retired Timo Boll, of course, has left a gap. Dang Cho, I think, is nearly 30. Duda in his early 30s. Phyllis in his 30s. Germany looked like, for a while, they were going to struggle to maintain their clout in the sport. Kay Strumper, Fang Bomong, strong players. Cedric Meissner, but I think Bertelsmeier is showing the most potential at the moment.
Yeah, I mean, we spoke earlier about LIHECHEN, one to watch, but Bertelsmeier is telling us to sit up and take notice of him as well.
managed to make the forehand that time, but look at this response. Great anticipation from Wu Yifei. That was a cold finish cross court. Be disappointed there with that one. LIHECHEN, he had plenty of time, relatively speaking, there on the ball. Tried to really hook around the side of it to play it off the angle. Oh, that's a beautiful flick though from the lefty. Not just about the racket skill, but the body skill, the way he moved his body so far over there to the right before playing the flick was meant to misdirect the Germans, lure them into a false sense of security. We've seen Bertelsmeier especially play a couple of nice fades. Same kind of philosophy there. He was like the Leaning Tower of Pisa, Wu Yifei, when he played that shot. Oh my goodness, what about that for a silhouette?
Yeah, Fraser, you're looking at me shaking your head after that shot landed. That was really incredible stuff. There's some really good stuff here for the highlights reel that we'll have to have a little look at later on. That was just absolutely sublime.
Yeah, Wu Yifei's played some stunners now as well. But it looks like it's going to be the Germans today, Rebecca. This would be a brilliant achievement for them.
Well, a brilliant achievement for both pairs of players. The Chinese teenagers reaching this final is just a huge achievement for them, and DUDA and Bertelsmeier calling for that timeout. You know, they were on the verge of getting that game point, just falling short, and clearly need to just settle the nerves here. They know how dangerous this Chinese pair of LIHECHEN and Wu Yifei are. Well, the timeout has worked as it was intended to. DUDA and Bertelsmeier with 4 match points. And they congratulate each other. They share a warm embrace. DUDA and Bertelsmeier recovering from losing the opening game. They were shocked, stunned by the unknown entity of LIHECHEN and Wu Yifei in the opener. Lost that one 11 points to 6. Had a great recovery to wrap it up 3 games to 1. Congratulations, Benedikt, DUDA, Andre Bertels.